Great Debaters Contest is brought to you by Safaricom M-Pesa.
Hello, we are in Kakamega region for the Great Debaters Contest. I am your host, Austin Nyambok.
And I am Mariam Bishar. We have a very thrilling debate for you today between St. Agnes girls and St. Charles Lwanga. Has advancement in technology destroyed our interpersonal relationships? The debaters will seek to answer these questions. Proposer number 1, you have 3 minutes.
Imagine this situation. I'm back from school, I'm all alone. I'm done with my homework. My father is busy tweeting and in the Facebook. My mother is busy in the laptops. What am I supposed to do? My father can't check on my homework. My mother can't check on my progress in my education. Am I supposed to embrace the technology? Hope not. In this case, advances refers to a progress or development in a particular activity or an item. Technology, this refers to the scientific knowledge in a practical activity. Interpersonal relationship, according to this motion that states, advance in technology are destroying interpersonal relationship. Interpersonal communication refers to the interpersonal relationship. For instance, between me and you, what we'll be doing together, the communication between us. That's when we'll be giving and receiving information between me and you. The advances in technology are destroying interpersonal communication. Yeah, that's very true. It reduces the ability to think. In most cases, I will be given work to research by my teacher or any other person. I'll be quick so fast to go to every gadget. I won't be thinking on what I'm supposed to be doing. I'll be so fast because nowadays we have many areas of Googling. I can Google here, I can Google on this site, but I want to be able to sit down and discuss and think critically on what I'm supposed to be doing. Unlike those areas, unlike the time back when you used to sit down, think with your head, and come back with better solutions. We only think that we can do it in any other time because we have the easier ways of doing. We can also reduce contact between me and you because we'll be like together. I'm sitting here with my friend, she's sitting with me. I'll be so busy on the telephone, she'll be so busy on the laptop, won't even be talking. We will not be like, hi, how are you doing? No, because we're all together so engrossed on this thing that we forget to communicate to each other. That's not so good because we have to build and communicate. Because as an African child, we need to communicate together because communication, in as much as I'm not refusing advances in technology is good, yes, it's very good, but what about us? We need to know each other better. I'm sorry to say that, but parents and children for this instance, my parent is home, I'm also at home. I've done a very bad mistake, my parent is lecturing me. I'm so busy, I'm on the phone, or I'm concentrating on the television. I'm not supposed to hearing what my mom is telling me. Yeah, that's not so good because I'll not be including that culture that I'm supposed to be taught by my parents. I'm supposed to be listening to her, but I am so busy, I'm taking as if she's trash, and that's not. I'm taking as if she's trash. No, the interpersonal, the relationship between me, my parents, my friends, my creativity and everything has been cut through because of this advancing in technology. Do you think we should embrace that? Thank you so much.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes to give us your opening statements.
First of all, I would like just to urge my proposers who are competing against us to come on our side and just join us before we continue, because we can see this is technology. I am using technology. That is technology. So technology has not destroyed interpersonal communication. If it would have destroyed interpersonal communication, I would not be communicating to you at this time. So advances in technology are not destroying interpersonal communication. As he had said, advances in technology simply means the progression or development of scientific knowledge used in practical ways in industry. This is an industry. Communication is an industry. And this interpersonal communication means the cool relationship between members of a society where you are able to express your opinions and feelings freely to one another and understand one another. Communication has led to spread of information from one place to another in a very shortest time possible. So, communication, we need technology for us to communicate faster to one another. Secondly, it has led to cultural interaction among societies. Cultural interaction. You can find Europeans coming in Kenya. They knew what is in Kenya is good. Through what? Communication. Through technological communication. Without technology, they wouldn't have made it to Kenya. Thirdly, it has led to closer understanding among people. When I am at home, my friend is in his home, we communicate to one another through the phones. The phones were brought in by technology. So technology has improved interpersonal communication, as you can see from what is happening very now. Also, it has promoted business locally and internationally. Example, through what? OLX. Who doesn't agree with that? It is true. Thank you.
We'll now hear rebuttals. Proposers, you have 3 minutes.
I'm Sandra Lukaji, St. Agnes Girls. First of all, I'd really like to challenge our opponent here. He spoke of the microphone being also an advancement in technology. Yes, it is true. No one has said it's not true. But I have a question. In the traditional African society, were people deaf and dumb simply because there was no microphone? I believe people still used to speak, and I can comfortably stand here without using the microphone, and I'll still communicate to people. And I believe people will still get what I'm saying. I believe so. And he has also spoke about the Europeans knowing about Africa simply because we have telephones and such like things, medias. Of course, they know through that. But I have a question. How did the Europeans get to come to Africa during the pre-colonial period? At that time, were there phones? I believe not. And now I'm also asking, the social medias are also helping. Yes, it is true. It is an advancement in technology. But we've also heard of cases where people get killed simply because you met someone in Facebook, you've never met that person face to face. Remember, that is supposed to be an interpersonal communication, but you simply chatted with the person and you found the person interesting. And simply because the person is interesting to you, you decide even to get married. What happens after that? You go to a foreign country. The next thing Kenya hears is that our people are getting killed simply because you met with someone in Facebook and the person, you developed interest in the person. I don't believe such should be embraced. And now we are speaking about loss of social abilities, ability to interact. I'm supposed to interact with the rest. That is why I've come to debate. I'm not going to interact with you via phone. Instead, I'm going to be asked to mingle with you, get to talk to you, get to know you. And I'm sorry to say this, but the generation we are going to, it's all about phones. You're not even communicating. How am I supposed to know how I'm communicating to you if all the time it's either in WhatsApp, I'm in Facebook, I'm in all that, and maybe I'm married in United States and I give birth to a child? What happens? My mom never gets to see the child. Instead, I send photos via Facebook, via WhatsApp, name all of them. What's that? And a parent should be the person to give your child the blessings according to the African traditional society. And I believe that is just embracing westernization, which is so wrong. Let's be proud of our culture. Then it has heightened selfishness. People are not willing to convene and share their experiences with others. You cannot even share what you've gone through. Instead, what do? When you have an inquiry, the best place you can go, either Facebook, either Googling. In fact, most tend to take the option of Googling. Is this where we really want to go? Really, let's think about that. Thank you.
Opposition will now hear your rebuttal. You also have 3 minutes.
Advantages in technology are destroying interpersonal communication the proposers have said that technology has led to death, which is very wrong. You need to know that death is a fact of life. You can drown in water and die. You can even reach your head which you're supposed to die. Then they've said it reduces contact when I want to pass information from one person to another, which is very wrong. You know, this social media, it has helped us through technology in invention of Skype, which has helped us, you can get to contact with the person who you're talking to. Then they've said that technology has led to people not getting the critical thinking on creativity, which is very wrong. Technology has helped us in many ways to get more information on something that you are supposed to do. Even if you have an assignment to do, you need to get into the technology stuff and get the information clearly. Then they have said that it leads to selfishness, which is very wrong. You see, when you get these gadgets and one has to borrow you to give information to another place, he'll borrow you and you can't deny him. Then technology has led to storage of information, hence easier reference. You can find that you can store information while I'm speaking to you in a gadget or these technology machines, so that when I'm speaking to you, what I'm speaking to you may not be biased. So I give clear and correct information. Then it has helped in development of education. You see, in this current world, it has helped us through e-learning. You can get information of all this stuff, all the education skills that you require for your studies. It has provided national awareness through entertainment. You see, when someone sings a song to you, he passes information to you. Then live scenes are aired on television, thereby bringing reality to the viewer. You see, when these great debaters contest will be aired on the TV, one will get to know what's actually happened. Then remote areas are no longer isolated from other regions due to telecommunication. You see, remote areas get to pass information through radios where they are called and give the appropriate information. Then interaction. Our proposers say that the technology has led to people not getting to interact well, which is very wrong. So you see, when
I know everybody knows M-Pesa. It came to people live as a savior. People may be transferring money from one place to another for a really long time by means of walking or any other means. But now M-Pesa came. It's the savior now. I want everybody to embrace and join it.
Take part in the M Challenge by sending your short song, rap or poem about Safaricom M-Pesa on WhatsApp, and you could win 1,000 shillings in Safaricom airtime.
The audience has posed questions to the two teams on stage. They will be responding shortly. The proposition have been asked, would they rather use technology such as microphones to speak or have to strain their voices without the use of technology? And the opposition have been asked, would they rather communicate using technology such as phones or face-to-face communication where there's a personal touch? We'll let them respond to the questions. Proposal number 3, you have 3 minutes.
I'm Valentine Akinyi from St. Agnes Girls. I would like to answer your question that would you rather use a microphone than use your voice to pass information? Yes, I can. That's why advances in technology is destroying interpersonal communication. This is simply because we as Africans or Kenyans, we have lost our qualities of being human. We have lost our beings. We cannot communicate to each other. Our negotiation skills are destroyed. Conversation skills are gone. And also emotional displacement. what are we trying to show? Through technology. You want to see what someone else is doing so that you can be like that person. Why can't we remain ourselves and become Africans? Let's use our what we have here so that we ourselves, we can promote ourselves. That's why we can see like now, our nation is not moving because we are trying to put in measures that are not trying to help us. Let's put in measures that we can afford, we as Africans and as Kenyans. That's why we should be proud of our own culture, not try to copy other people's culture in the name of technology. And also, these advances in technology tend to affect mutual relationships. We can see, let me say for example, my friend has come to visit me in my house. And there, I'm on my laptop, I'm chatting. Then my friend, she's talking to me, hi, and I'm just, hey, like, hey. Please, I'm busy. Please, can you watch the television over there? We shall talk later. Let me try to finish something. There is a friend I'm chatting with here. Is that really? Is that the world you want? No. Let's learn to respect each other. That's why we do not want advance in technology. We want to learn to live in a society where every one of us need each other. We need each other so that we can move forward. We do not need technology. Technology does not mean that you yourself, you want to be there so that you can do what other people are doing. Let's do what is there. Then through technology, we can see that there is evangelism. People do not want to go to church and worship the Lord. And then when you go to church, you get to interact with different peoples from different societies. But here, you do not want to go to church. You want to say, let me watch this pastor who is preaching through this media so that I sent there my tithe. Then you have no shame and guts. You stand before people and tell them, hey, today I've just gone to church where I watched the church in my phone. It's so sad. Then it has also taken our virtue of honesty. We are not honest to ourselves. We tell someone, I'm here, and yet you are not there. You are any other place. Let's be realistic. That's why Nelson Mandela says, it always seems impossible until it is done. That's why I'm saying, let's not advance this technology and we shall move forward. Thank you.
Opposer number 3, you have 3 minutes to respond to the audience.
I'll start by opposing the point that they have said. Actually, first of all, when the second speaker came, he said that we have a generation of technology. Wow, let's talk with facts, right? Is that true? We have technology. Who doesn't want technology in this world? I'm sure even our proposers here also use technology. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Answer me. Am I wrong? To that question, I'll answer it like this. It depends on what we're talking about and the distance between us. And for that, I support a phone dialogue. Why? Because, when you're facing someone, it's hard. It's very hard to bring up the confidence and the courage to say what you want. Right? Am I true? Also, being on a phone dialogue, you'll say what you want, tell the guy what he or she needs for an answer. Also, to oppose another point that was brought by our proposer here, I like to say that you said something about church, going to church, right? Okay, one thing I know about going to church is yourself, and not the real going to church. Am I right? So if I stay at my house and I'm watching a television where a pastor is preaching or something, man, I think I'll be saved, right? Am I correct, my proposers? So please, let my gallery here and my audience listening to me right now tell our proposers to actually join the opposing side on the motion that says advances in technology are destroying interpersonal communication. Thank you.
We'll now hear closing statements, beginning with the proposition. You have 1 minute.
God said, obey the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Just as he said, church is being yourself. I believe all of us should go to churches. That is why something like a church was invented. And that is why something like a mosque was invented, and other religions. Then, broken marriages, heightened selfishness, loss of social abilities. Is this where we want to be? Is this really what we want to embrace? Of course, we really do need to have interpersonal communication. Do we really want to get to that point where you cannot even look at your mother and communicate to her? You only get to see your mother once in a year, and yet you're supposed to have a bonding. Though they say there's that instinct feeling of a parent, with that absence of the parent, I don't believe there'll be such a thing. It only takes that interpersonal communication. It only takes that face-to-face communication for you to get what others are saying. Thank you.
We'll now hear your closing submission. You have 1 minute.
I would like actually to say that we really need technology, don't we? Don't we? Judges, don't we? Okay, let's end up by saying this motion is actually point of convincing my audience that technology is what we need. We don't need to go back to the ages of our old folks back at home there. And you know what happens. Facing him, telling him or what. By the way, when using technology, I can face my folk, my parent, I can face him even without seeing him. Have you ever seen something? Have you ever heard of something called Skype or something? Have you? Well, Skype, I can talk to my mom when I'm facing him on a tablet or something. Well, thank you again. I'd like to appreciate all that you've done to us and the chances. Thank you.
St. Agnes. Florence, I like the fact that you start your team well with fairly good examples, but with an extra work on your passion and delivery, you can actually still make a better speaker than you are. Sandra, good points, very confident, and of course I also appreciate your passion. You're very strong, especially in your team. Nonetheless, weak cross-examination, especially on the microphone analogy that you came to cross-examine. When you come and say that you're audible and you're still using the microphone, it doesn't really come out. Valentine, confident, and I love your presence, good speaker. But, the way you also tackled the question as well was a little bit wanting, and I also felt that you also narrowed down your technology to just the phone and TV. It was quite narrow.
For St. Charles Lwanga, my concern is that, one, when Cornelius comes on, he tells us, some of the things that technology does, cultural interaction, advances, communication. But how do you connect that with interpersonal communication? You even make reference to OLX. What's the relationship between that and interpersonal communication? That link is missing. Alvin comes and talks about Skype, but then there are questions about grammar. For Chacha, lastly, I think I had a problem with you asking questions and, wasting time trying to solicit responses. You have 3 minutes. Please make better use of the time so that when you leave the stage, then there's something that we can remember, other than, the questions that you're seeking answers from the opposers, proposers, and the audience. You need to think about that next time. Thank you.
St. Charles Lwanga, you need to improve on your language. Try a bit of reading. Kosgei, be faithful to the motion. It is not really advantages of technology, but advancement in technology. Again, when the bell peals, wind up what you are saying. Don't just run off the stage. Chacha, the way you present yourself on stage matters a lot. Another point that was brought, your colleague never brought any point. Your colleague actually raised some issues that you were to address to. And the same applies to Cornelius. Florence, maybe I like your introduction. I love that story introduction, the anecdote. It got my attention in attempt to persuade the people that interpersonal technology, advancement in technology, has destroyed interpersonal communication. Sandra, again, a very good speaker. One thing I can say about you, you have the ability to convince people. You have the voice and you have the nonverbal stimuli. But what you can do, you can look for ways of enhancing your content in order to have better delivery. To the two teams, it was a fair presentation from both of you, but you can improve, 1, on our language, 2, on our delivery skills.
St. Charles Lwanga, the judges gave you 57.4%. Please give St. Charles a hand. And St. Agnes Girls, the judges awarded you 67%, making you the winners of this debate.
Congratulations to St. Agnes Girls, and for St. Charles Lwanga, we tell you that the biggest room is the room for improvement. So all of us here at the Great Debaters Contest would like to thank KBC Channel 1 and Safaricom M-Pesa, and urge our viewers to follow us on Twitter at Great Debaters EA. I have been your host, Austin Nyambok.
And I am Mariam Bishar. We'll see you next time.
The Great Debaters Contest was brought to you by Safaricom M-Pesa.